So for the victims of Darfur, we need to take action. Write a letter, call your politician, write a letter to your local paper, raise money, check your financial investments to ensure you're not assisting the government of Sudan in any way. Voice your appall at China's involvement with the government of Sudan and boycott the 2008 Olympics. Educate everyone you can about Darfur and push them to also take some action. Then and only then do you and I not fall in the category of being indifferent. Instead, we can feel some resolve, knowing that we fall under the title of the caring Canadians that we are known for worldwide. The Canadians who will not sit quietly, but will do all they can to stop those who are doing wrong to any other human, anywhere. In the words of Mahatma Gandhi, we must be the change we want to see in the world.
The world cannot look away now. Canada cannot look away now. We must keep up the pressure. We must insist that Sudan rein in the militias and armed groups responsible for so much murder and rape. We must demand that war criminals be turned over to the International Criminal Court. We must do everything we can to ensure that well-equipped, well-trained troops and police with a strong mandate are on the ground and ready to take over as soon as is possible. We must not look away.
It's our responsibility to break the silence, to sound the alarm, to stand with the people of Darfur. Fortunately, as a result of the gatherings that you've initiated, fortunately as a result of the students standing with the people of Darfur, it's not public indifference or inaction that's the problem. It's governmental inaction that's the problem.
I'd like to re-emphasize the collective power we hold. If we feel powerless, then we will be powerless, falling into the trap of a self-fulfilling prophecy. Or we could pool our efforts together, take action, engage our MPs, and we can make our voices heard. This is the only way for us to effect change. For Canada to take on a more proactive role in Darfur, we must give our politicians a reason to act. We must let them know that this time around, there will be a price for their indifference.
Just a few weeks ago, you maybe saw that we have just adopted 2 kids from Darfur. They were the twin sister and brother of a little girl we'd adopted from Sudan 7 years ago. We found them and we were able to get them here. If it wasn't for politicians like the ones you have here, and also yourselves, I'm not sure the people of Darfur stand much of a chance. And they know that, and they do feel abandoned. I'm so thankful that for 2.5 years I stuck at it, even when I was discouraged. And I'm really thankful my wife, who has more strength than I, encouraged me to keep doing so. And we succeeded, and those 2 kids are here, and that family is reunited. But they should have been with their mother in Darfur. They should have been able to go to school. They should have been able to work out their own lives and as a family be able to do as they wish, as we have been able to do. Listen, if I hadn't have given up, they wouldn't be here. If you give up, the people of Darfur will have no future. It's so, so important that you do that.
And after all this story is documented all over, with Mr. Harvard, with Mr. George Bush, with everywhere, and they're all turning their back for Darfurian. It's gonna be shamed on us if you keep silent. It's gonna be shame unless we promise ourselves today to continue the struggle. We need the troops to be there, not late that October. Many Darfurians gonna die. And now you know what is the worst things? After recruiting all those militias of Arab militias, now they are doing a program of resettlement for Arabs who have been coming from Chad and Niger and many other African, and they said to them, come and take the land of African Darfurian. Lately, to clean everything before the international troops been there, they start killing some Arab tribes who refuse to join the conflict, who refuse to be the bad guys for Sudan government and kill their African brothers in Darfur.
In solidarity we shall stand with our blindfolds, symbolizing the international community's ignorance to the ongoing crisis in Darfur. Let us hold this action for 2 minutes after the song to represent the 2-year signing of the Responsibility to Protect Doctrine by UN states, which calls on our international community to intervene when a state is unable or unwilling to protect its own citizens from avoidable harm. Through our actions, we demand that the Canadian government keep its responsibility to protect promise by doing all it can to assist in the expeditious and full deployment to Darfur of the hybrid African Union and UN peacekeeping force and to assist in its effectiveness. Please stand in a line and join hands with the rest of us in a one-line human chain.
Has the Prime Minister's office or Conservative Minister of Foreign Affairs reacted to the situation in Darfur other than a financial donation?
I think that, to be truthful, they've tried to give some moral support to the international effort that's going on. But what's happened, the problem with Darfur right now is that everybody is given moral support. Nobody's given logistical support. So it really doesn't matter in the end. You can say you're sorry for people, but until we can start putting out there and lead the international community, it's not going to amount to anything.
As the Canadian ambassador to the United Nations, John McVie, voted against a UN declaration on an Aboriginal rights bill just last week. Do you think his position would be any more supportive of issues in Darfur?
I can't answer that, but I can say if the government is not, if it doesn't subscribe to their particular agenda, they tend to vote against it rather than voting for it. And sometimes there are other agendas in a country that matter more than just yours, and they need to listen to what's been said here today and speak out and vote for those particular motions.
Should Canada commit military troop support to Darfur as recommended by the UN Security Council?
That was the plan. If we're an international leader, of course we should be committing it. But even if right now we say we can't, we can be providing logistics, police, judicial, other kind of support, food and other things that we need to do. But at the end of the day, it's not going to matter. If you want to be a leader in the world, you got to put your troops there on a peacekeeping mission. This is what Canada is known for, and we have to do it again.
You think it would be a mistake if the Prime Minister shifted our troops away from Afghanistan and make Darfur a priority mission?
I think both missions are possible. When Paul Martin was Prime Minister, he had asked Rick Hillier, who was leading the Defence Forces, can we do both? Rick Hillier had said yes. But from Rick Hillier's own mouth, that's possible. So yes, I think we can do both.